everyone, I hope y'all are having a great day, and today I'll be sharing my favorite books that I've read in the year of 2014. Now my selection pool for this year is depressingly small because I've barely read. I think I can count the number of books I've read since junior year started on one hand. But even though my selection pool was extremely limited this year, I still have read a bunch of incredible books. Let's get started. My first favorite that I want to mention, by the way, these aren't in any particular order, is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. This book is such a jam. It's about two best friends named Sloane and Emily. One day Sloane disappears and leaves Emily a list of things to do. And as Emily tries crossing these things off the list, she discovers more about herself and tries to find her way back to Sloane, and this book is just flawless. I love it. I love all of Morgan Matson's books though, so if you haven't read her books, I don't know what you're doing. You should get on that. Also, if you're thinking of buying this book, definitely get the hardcover. I don't even know if the paperback is out yet, but look. I will never get over this. This book is so light and fluffy and fun and emotional at the same time. Happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time. So yeah, my first favorite is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. If you haven't read it, please pick it up. Please, please, please. The next favorite I want to mention is Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I do own the first two books, Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, and Throne of Glass wasn't that much of a jam for me. Crown of Midnight was more of a jam, and then Heir of Fire was like a gift from God. It was fantastic. My next favorite is a book I rave about all the time on Twitter. I'm always telling people to buy it because it's on Book Outlet for so cheap. And that book is The Winner's Curse by Marie Rutkowski. The cover is beautiful. The insides are even more beautiful. I feel like The Winner's Curse is probably the least popular book that's on my list of favorites. I don't know why not everybody is raving about this book. Everybody should be raving about this book. It's about a girl named Kestrel who's the daughter of a really important military general, and she accidentally buys a slave at a slave auction. Whoops! And her slave is kind of rude and disobedient and aloof, and it turns into a love story. But it is just so well done. And this book is, I guess, fantasy, but it's not really that fantasy-like. This book is not only one of the best books I've read this year, but one of the best books I've read ever in my entire life. I love this book so much, and I want everyone else to love it too. So if you haven't read this, please read it. Please, please, please. My next favorite is another book that I don't have a physical copy of, but I checked it out from the library, and that book is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alida Sainz. And this book has been out for a while, but I just read it this year, and I knew everyone loved it. I don't know why I waited so long to read it, but it deserves every ounce of praise it received, and it has received a lot of praise. You can hardly see the cover because it's covered in awards. This book is not only a really beautiful and emotional and touching story, it's also one of the most diverse books in young adult literature. And that diversity in a genre that's not very diverse is definitely something that we all need to recognize and extol. Aristotle and Dante deals with people of color as well as homosexuality, and it is just so beautiful. A beautiful, beautiful story that everyone, no matter what age you are, what race you are, what gender you are, needs to read. My next favorite is the end of a series that I've loved. If you're thinking Blood of Olympus, nope, that's not it. It's Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor, this ginormous tome. This is the last book in the Dreams of Gods and Monsters trilogy, and this whole trilogy is so delicately crafted and elaborate and beautiful. I've said beautiful like a billion times in this video already, but really, Laini Taylor's writing, if you haven't experienced Laini Taylor's writing, you're in for a dream. And if you don't have a writing crush on Laini Taylor's writing, I don't understand. Well, I feel like a lot of people are turned off by this trilogy because people say it's weird, but I don't think it's that weird. I mean, it's a fantasy, and it's such an interesting and unique fantasy. I don't think you'll ever find a story that's like this one. I guess it's weird in the sense that it's unique, but I don't understand why that would turn people off. I feel like Laini Taylor pours out her soul when she writes these books. Dreams of Gods and Monsters is actually my favorite in the entire trilogy. I think this is one of the best YA series I've ever read. It's fantastic from start to finish, and you can't really say that about a lot of YA series. My last favorite I want to mention for the year of 2014 is actually a set of favorites, I guess. They're all by one author, and this author has become one of my favorite authors ever to exist. Now I'm talking about Rainbow Rowell. Yeah, I know not all of these were published this year, but I read these 3 books this year. I read Eleanor and Park last year in 2013, which was my first exposure to Rainbow Rowell, and I completely fell in love. Eleanor and Park still remains my favorite Rowell book, but this year I read Fangirl, Attachment, and Landline, and all 3 of these books are so fabulous. If you're into contemporary and you haven't read Rainbow Rowell, how into contemporary are you really? Rainbow Rowell has quickly become one of the queens of contemporary. So if I had to pick one Rowell favorite of 2014, I think it would be this one. But all 3 books are fantastic. So these are a few of my favorite books I've read in the year of 2014. Please let me know what some of your favorites are and whether we have the same books on our list. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and happy reading. Goodbye!